Hey y'all, this is DaButcher, and I'm going to walk you through some of Batocera 39, some of the settings, how to maneuver around, how to make some changes. So let's go ahead and crank this up and get started. So hold tight while the boot up screen starts. These are some custom splash screens that you can add to your Batocera or not. I went ahead and added a group of them. It plays one random one when it boots up. Thought it was something kind of neat. So it's going through checking the library, seeing if there's anything new. So one of the first things we're going to do is I'm going to edit the sound so that we don't hear the sound over the game. So I'm going to hit the start button. We're going to go down here to game settings. I'm going to hit the enter button, and you can look down there. You can see which button would actually select it, which would be the X button on a PlayStation controller. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this music way down. There's no need to have that. You can add music, custom music to this. You can add it to the music folder on your Batocera, but that's just some default music. We do have system volume. I'm not going to mess with that right now. We'll still be able to hear. You can hear the game playing there. It's doing. This skin actually offers the little video snaps, so it's got tons of skins, so you can decide which one you want to do. So I'm going to go in here. We're going to go to the first menu here. I hit the start button, and again, if you look down here, you can see the start button will actually close this. But if I back up, I'm going to hit the, I guess it'd be the circle button, the east button, pulls me back. You can see start will pull up the menu. Search is the west button. North would be random. South is select, which is basically enter, and then we can move left and right. I hit the start button so we can go ahead and get this menu. It does offer Kodi. I think this is Kodi 20 maybe. So you could choose if you want to run Kodi from in here. Game settings, I'm going to enter that. If you add games to your list, you've added some new games to any of the folders, or if you updated the scraper, if you've scraped games that's added more art, you will need to hit this button, which I'm going to hit the X button, the south button. And it's going to ask me, do I really want to, update my list? I'm going to do that. It gives you the quick little reboot of the Batocera splash screen, and we're back in here. So that is needed quite a bit. If you add games to it, you'll need to add it. Retro Achievements is a way you can sign up for this, and certain games it will have community-based achievements that you need to try to get. You can go and look on RetroArch. They have a whole section on that. NetPlay, if you wanted to play other people that have the exact same ROM as you, there are some games that will offer that. Not all games offer it, but some do. I'm gonna go down here. Most of these really don't need it. If you find that a game is the aspect ratio is not right, like the game screen is too big for the bezel around it, you can go here, and I'm gonna hit enter, which is the south button, and you can create a custom size of the screen, and that is, again, this is the size of the screen of the game you're playing. This has bezels is turned on. That is it's called decorations. Bezels are already set for automatic. If you want to change those, there is all kinds of, I'm going to hit enter, and you can see here are different bezel sets that will be around the games. So I'm going to back out. Again, if you hit the east button, it backs you up. So I'm going to back out of that. Let's see. I'll back out of here. We're going to go down here to Bluetooth. So if you add any Bluetooth controllers, you will go in here and you can do the pair. I usually do pair manually so I can make sure that the right one pairs up. And then the other thing you'll need to do is map your buttons. So we go here, and I'm going to hit the enter button, the X or south. And it's going to say, hey, you sure you want to remap this? I say yes. I hit it one more time. Then hold down any button. See, it pulls up my Logitech. Now, all we do is basically hit the button corresponding to what the screen has. So we're going to hit south, east, north, west, start, select. Now we're going to do the D-pad up, down, left, right, shoulder, which would be if you have two triggers on your index fingers, this would be the top button. So the left shoulder, right shoulder, analog up, left, right, up, left, trigger, which that would be the kind of the bigger button there on your index fingers. So left, right, push down on the joystick, down, push down on the right joystick, down. And then the hotkey, I set this, and most people will set this to your select button, because this is an important button. You really need to set it. So I'm going to hit the select button again. You can see it's button number 8. Now I will hit the south or the X button for me, hit enter, and now my controller has been mapped. So if you add a controller to it, it takes just a few seconds. Map it so all your buttons are the correct buttons so that you're able to move in and out of the games easily. You're down here, you can set different controllers for player 1, player 2, player 3. So if you had a 4-player game, you can decide who's going to be one, so you can set that here. I think I have this turned on for show controller activity, which that's up in the top left, which means it tells me one controller. If I had another controller, you'd see 2. If you have 4 controllers, it will have 4. So I'm going to hit back. So this is a real important aspect to make sure that you set your buttons correct. User interface. So if we want to change the skins, we're going to go in here. You can see that right now I'm using Emulation Station Theme Carbon, ES Theme Carbon, which has Emulation Station. Hit enter. These are the skins that I have already installed. We can go here to tile just to show you real quick. Hit it, and then I'm going to hit the back button, which is the east button. I'll back up one more time, and you can see now the skin has changed. Just a different look to it. And hit the start button. We're going to go back here, and I'm going to go back to the carbon that I had. Back out, and we're done. Okay. The other thing, when it does theme configuration, some themes offer a lot of tweaking where you can do different things. See, I can change the color scheme from blue. I can change it to red. I can change it whatever. It's got a bunch of different colors. I'm going to stick with blue just for that. Region, we can set that. So again, these are all things that you can turn on or off. It's not going to break nothing, but it just depends on what your taste is. So that's configuring the skin. So since I did some skin changes, it had to back me up. I'm gonna, if you want to hide certain games or folders, it does offer you some of that. Oh, I guess I'll have to show you in another place. Game collections. I'm able to see that I have, I'm hit enter on this, and you can see these are the games that I have on in here. You can actually see where I turned off Commodore 64. But if there's certain systems you don't want to see, you just toggle it off. That's all you got to do. Back out of here. We can set up some game collections. Here we go with, I have all games turned on, last played, and favorites turned on, as well as arcade. But you could have some other things. Let's say we just hit action. I'm going to hit that and hit back. Back up again. And we should have an action. There it is. Any game that falls under action, which is 859 of them, will be in this category. All right, so we got that. Whoops. So you're able to add the look and what games or what things you're wanting added in there or not added in there. So let me go ahead and get action. I don't like that action turned on, but just to show you, go back again. So we were able to change that to group systems. I don't really think that really matters. Most people aren't going to care about that. We can set sort by manufacturer, all kinds of different stuff like that. That doesn't really matter. Sound. So sometimes some people will get it and it doesn't work. The sound isn't right. That would be under game settings, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it was system settings. Yeah, system settings. So if you find that you don't have any audio, you may need to change the audio output or the audio profile. So it's a simple change. You can click it and it will give you some options. So sometimes changing that will help with certain systems. So if you have an issue with your sound not playing, go in there and change some of those outputs or profiles, and you may find that the HDMI picks up. We already talked about the system and music, so I'm not going to worry about that. Network settings. So if you have a Wi-Fi, you're going to want to set it up in here. You're going to add the Wi-Fi SSID and go from there. Put in your password and that kind of stuff. Scraper, this is where it pulls the artwork. So this is going to pull your artwork, your thumb images and stuff like that. I prefer, most people do the screen scraper, leave it at that. You will need to set up a username and password. You'll set that up on their website. You'll be able to put your information in on this category. I'm not going to do that. And then these are how it's going to check now. If I leave it default, it's going to check all 35 systems. And it does have some parameters. If it's been scraped in the last 15 days, it may ignore it. And it'll also look for games missing any media. So let me show you that real quick, how that works. I think the only thing I needed, so let me go down here and hit none. And Game Gear, where's Game Gear? Here it is. Turn that, because I know there's a few games that's missing on that. Now I hit back. Scrape now. And it will pop up over here in the right how many games that it's scraping art. And so it's saying there's 42 games that don't have art in the Game Gear folder. So it's going to go through, grab the art as well as the video snaps. You can set that in Scraper. You're able to set, do you want video snaps, not want video snaps? Video snaps do take up space. So if you're a person that does not want all of that, it is quicker if we turn off some of those settings for your Scraper. So it is you can set which type of art you want and stuff like that. Updates and downloads. The big part down here, this is where if you want to update the system, the Batocera 39. Now that is the latest version as of right now in May of 2024. But if you try to update the system from one system to another, from say 39, and if 40 comes out, sometimes people have issues. So a lot of times what people suggest is to basically start with 40 and then import your user data folder, your user folder, and do it that way. They say that updating within the system tends to have weird effects. So if you ever need to do that, you're going to have to get a PC and kind of do some tweaking, but most people don't need to worry about that. We want to go here to themes. So if you want to get some other themes, I think I click here, and there's the themes. So lots of different themes are available. Again, each of them a little bit different. You decide what you want. So let's get into, let me go right here to quit system settings real quick. We can change the language time zone. Is it 12-hour clock or a 24-hour clock? Different things like that. And again, the audio things we talked about. You also have at the top, if I'm not mistaken, the information. Hit enter on that. It's going to give us the version. It's going to tell us how much storage we're using, how much stuff like that. So what our device is. But big thing is here is how much disk space you have. So if you're in question of how much disk space you have, that's where you do it. So Hit back a couple times. And let's go ahead and play some games just to see. All right, let's see. All right, I'm gonna go in here to FB, which tends to be, that is also arcade games. So these are some games that I have added as some of my favorites. You can see that's why they have a star on them. If you want to get rid of the star, I hold down on the north button. You can see it right here. It's not the save state, but if you hold on it, it'll be favorite. So let's go here to Ms. Pac-Man. I am going to hold down on it. And now you can see Ms. Pac-Man is no longer have a star on it. It's been moved down the list in its regular alphabetical order, but it is no longer in it as a favorite. Going up and down with this works, but you can also hit your trigger, not the trigger, the left shoulder, right shoulder. You can see this is left shoulder, took me up to the top. So let's go ahead and just start a game, just to see. I'm going to hit the X button, which was start, or was the X button, which is, for me, the south button. Should take just a few seconds as it boots up. Select is your coins. And then you hit start is the start. There we go. Let's get this going. Can't remember which buttons is which on this. So my south button is the fire. Yep. I gotta get the buttons sorted out there. So we'll back out of that real quick. Start and select takes us out. Let's go ahead and do a little Mortal Kombat again. Hit the enter button or the south button, whichever you want to call it. And Xbox 360's controllers work really well with this. Basically anything that's a USB, or you can set it up again through Bluetooth. You can go through and set that up. That's not a problem. Some ROMs will give you a little error that says there's something wrong, but 9 times out of 10 they'll play just fine, but there'll be some kind of glitch from where it's checking for being an arcade. Select gives you coins, as you can see. Just hit enter real quick. Right, come on. Come here, get some. Alright, start and select and get out. And I'm going to show how to do a save. I'm going to hit back. Alright, so we're going to go and talk about saves. I'm going to go here into Genesis. And I've played Sonic and I actually saved one game. So I'm going to hit the north button. And you can see right here there was a save that I created at earlier point. Now, most games will automatically save to a folder or to a file automatically, like if it's built into the game. So Nintendo 64 it'll say something about saving. Do you want to create a save? Like almost like a memory card automatically. So this is above and beyond that. So most games, like I said, will automatically save for the system. But let's say you have a game that you want to save in a particular spot. So you can see I saved here just as a thing, and I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. And this will take me right into that exact spot, and I'll show you how to create one of these. So we got this. Let's jump, get to a different spot here. Oh, and I got myself killed. Alright, I'm just going to jump up here. And I'm going to hit select and the X button, the south button. And if I want to create a save at this spot, I'm going to click the save states. And right now you can see that slot 0 is holding that particular one. So if I hit 1 or hit the enter, now it's taking me to this spot which there is no game saved to it. So I'm in slot 1. And I'm going to say I want to save that. It said, well, save to slot number 2. So let's do this. Let's back out of here. Start and select. And hit the north button. Now you can see there's the new save that I just created. So that's how you can save games in a certain place. And you can see down here, these are the buttons that do this. Will launch it, copy to a free slot. So if you wanted to create a copy of that, delete the saves. But again, most games will automatically save. But this is just another option for saving in an exact spot. And this works with arcade games too. So you can be doing an arcade. So I'm going to back out of here. So the next thing I'm going to do is show you how to add games, because that's another important feature. So we'll type this. Let's see here. Let's get this down. Alright, well, let's do this. I got to turn this off. There. Alright, get rid of that music. So this is how we're going to add games to it. It's really simple. So these are ROMs that are on my PC. I've logged into the Batocera for this device. I'm going to go to share. Here's where the BIOS files. If we download cheats, there are cheat files that you can download, so that is an option. But I'm going to go here to the ROMs folder. Let's say this. Is there anything? Yeah. So let's say if I wanted to add something from this Coleco 64, or Commodore 64, I guess that's what it is. So let's see. Here's a Commodore 64. So this is on the device itself. It's as simple as copy this over here. Done. So let's go back to the game. And we're going to need to go to the game settings, tell it to update the lists. Really? Do you want to do it? Well, one thing I'm going to have to do is turn on where I can see Commodores. So that's another thing. Because I think I hid Commodore 64. This under game collections. Systems. You can see I have Commodore 64 hidden, so I'm going to hit enter, hit back. Let's see if we have that new game. There's Commodore 64. Should have 2 games. Yep. Hit enter, and you can see 10th frame was the one I just added. Now if I scrape, it will add to this. I'm going to hold down long on the south button. This is going to bring up little things where it's just for this particular game. So I'm going to go through and scrape this game. Sometimes you need to change the name of the files. If it's a weird name, sometimes that will happen, that they can't find the game. So you change the name a little bit and it will find the right game. But you can see it gives you results and you pick which one you will think you want it to be. And there it is. 10th frame is already added in. I'm going to long hold again on, we're down here where you can see it says game options. Let's take a look at that too. Yeah, I can see my save states, similar games, add to favorites. So if I want to add it to my favorites, easily to do. I can also change the emulators. Go here to advanced, and I can change the emulator. If I hit enter, these are the emulators that would run Commodore 64s. Not that it would necessarily run this particular ROM, but it would. These are the options for Commodore 64. So if you find a ROM doesn't load under one core under auto, you can always change the core that's running to a different one to get it to try to work better. Video mode, this makes your screen bigger or smaller, stuff like that. Decorations is the bezels. So these are just for this particular game. When I'm changing I'll hold again. When I'm changing in here, it's only for this game, whereas some of the other settings would be for a whole system or for your whole unit. So if you're wanting to change some stuff just for a particular game, that's what you do. Just a long hold on the south button or the X, and there you go. But down here, these are your little cheat codes. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully you understand how some of this works. I know this was long, but hopefully it's helpful to you. So you guys have a good one.